So Tiina, you are the CEO of Marimekko, a great Finnish brand in fashion, and you have just said that the industry is being transformed. How is the fashion industry in your world being transformed?
There's actually a great value-driven disruption happening in the fashion industry. There's been a lot of criticism in the global fashion industry of being kind of too insular and too kind of in its own bubble and disconnected of this kind of spirit of exchange that we can see in the rest of the society, but we can now seeing it being disrupted. And we've kind of identified three key igniters, sort of mega trends igniting this change. And first being the changes in people's values and awareness about sustainability. So in the uncertain world where we live in, I think people really kind of seek for security in new ways, and there's this kind of trend towards more of a kind of back to the roots kind of thinking. So rather than seeking for the kind of status symbols, exclusivity type of brands, we can see people and consumers gravitating more towards brands and phenomena that are built on sustainable, timeless values, and ones that they connect true personal meaning and purpose with. So kind of sense of individualism is something that we can see becoming more and more important. Then digitalization, so obviously that's disrupting the whole fashion ecosystem. It's reshaping the demand creation mechanisms, it's kind of reshaping the marketplace. And I think that, what is interesting from a fashion industry perspective, because traditionally fashion brands have been kind of built on this idea of exclusivity and kind of dominant messaging about, what is the style now and how one should aspire to be. And I think that with the social media and digital transformation happening, that is no longer the way brands are built, because brands are nowadays built with your customers, and that's a huge challenge, but we see an opportunity for, I would say, all the brands in our industry, and especially some of the old school luxury players. For them, this has been a huge challenge because they can no longer control the brand. And then third one, the spirit of collaboration. So I think that this is something that we can see happening across industries, this kind of great undertone and spirit of exchange and working together to untap value pockets across traditional boundaries. So I think that taking various forms and shapes, collaborations can extend from uniting strengths with another partner to increase competitiveness, to brand collaborations, increasing awareness, to building relevance in a local culture, and it can even extend in the future years into collaboration across players and industries that can even bring to life new industries. So I think that all of these key megatrends are kind of disrupting the way that the fashion industry works, and I think at Marimekko we can see that as a huge opportunity.
At the same time, digital marketing enables you to be in better touch with your consumers. You know who they are, and you don't have a retailer in between, which is kind of preventing to let you know who is a customer profile. So is that a big plus also?
That is a huge plus. So Marimekko has always been kind of built on this idea of encouraging people to kind of find their own sense of style and own way of self-expression instead of kind of directing a certain style that one should adopt. So we've always been about creating a community with our fans, but also between the fans. So it goes without saying that now when we've been also internationalizing, that the digital tools offer us great ways to build a global Marimekko community and really kind of invite our consumers, build our brand story with us. Having said that, on the back end side of the business, what the digitalization obviously offers is tools for us to better understand the local needs, to co-create, innovate with our customers. And I think that the fact that we're in the global spectrum of our industry, a small player, it gives us the agility to tap into these opportunities in a much faster way.
So the fashion business is a risky business because there are many examples of brands that went and that came and went. How do you make sure that you stay relevant for a new generation of consumers?
I think that's an excellent question. Marimekko is also a brand with a long history. We were established already in 1951, and I mean the spirit of today's time is really appreciative and positive towards brands that have a real story and strong roots. However, while the roots are a big asset, one needs to have the courage to also work hard to really in deep understand what is the core DNA of the brand in order to then boldly express that in a forward-thinking way to be relevant for consumers. Brands that fail to do that, they might then eventually age and die.
Become dusty.
Exactly. So in order for the brand to keep and foster and build these phenomena that brands at best can be, one needs to always look forward. You need to know your roots, who you are, but then look forward and be bold in the way that you express yourself in the form of products, experiences, and I think the digital.
It's all about innovation, right?
Exactly. It's
on every possible dimension.
Exactly, and that requires courage.
Yeah, of course. So, Marimekko is a very well-known brand in Scandinavia, increasingly in other countries like Japan, which I understand is your second biggest market. What about the rest of the world? What about China, for example?
Yes, so I think Marimekko is in a very, very exciting phase at the moment. Within the past couple of years, we really kind of been focusing on building our international competitiveness and profitability with the kind of fast internationalization that we've started to kind of create within the past 5 to 10 years. Where we've now embarked on is our new strategic phase, which is really all about accelerating our profitable growth in the coming years. So it's really about building the Marimekko phenomenon in our key market areas, which are Asia Pacific, Northern Europe and North America. And we have decided to approach these key market areas that are quite big through key cities. So we believe that by understanding what are the key cities from our customers' point of view, we seek to build these sort of ecosystems with different touch points, distribution touch points and marketing touch points, so that we can kind of build these sort of mini Marimekko worlds that are relevant for our customers in these cities. And I think that's also a way for a smaller brand to make an impact. So as I mentioned, Asia is in a key role in terms of our future growth. So is also digital commerce and overall kind of further improving the kind of sales per square meter, the productivity of the already 150 Marimekko stores around the world.
Well, thank you for this passionate expression of a brand. Thank you.
Thank you.
And how is the US doing? Because was it Jackie Kennedy who popularized your brand in the 60s?
Yes,
and,
yes. So US is one of our main markets as well.
Still,
it is still. We have five company-owned stores, owned retail stores. The most important one being in New York, which is our global flagship store on the Fifth Avenue. And then obviously e-commerce has a big role. Actually, we have a couple of stores in the Boston area, and that actually dates back to your story or your reference to Jacqueline Kennedy. Because when we look at our history, US has been historically one of the first export markets, and it was Jackie Kennedy who really kind of helped to lift the company and brand into the renown of the global fashion industry, because during the presidential election campaign, she bought 9 Marimekko dresses and wore one of them in the cover of Sports Illustrated magazine, and that was a big PR statement from her,
of course.
because Marimekko being an unknown brand, a simple cotton dress, so it was a big statement, and that really kind of helped us rise to the awareness. So,
and how do you position the brand? Do you use Finland as a key? Yeah, you do.
So obviously, when we think about Marimekko's values, sustainability, functionality, individualism in the expression, empowerment. I mean, it's a very equality rooting and empowering brand. I think that many of these values, it's very easy to connect. They stem from the Finnish culture as well. So I think indirectly it has a big role.
Indirectly.
Indirectly.
You don't do that directly. I mean, the Japanese consumer knows that it's coming from this part of the world.
Yes, the reason why I said indirectly is that in our design team,
Yes.
we nowadays have also talent from many different
Of
cultures.
course, yeah,
And
sure.
you know, it doesn't, because sometimes I'm asked the questions like, are you able to, as it is so Finnish as a kind of value base, are you able to inject talent from different countries and markets to the design team? And of course, it's all about the commitment to the Marimekko philosophy and the values. And actually, it provides new dimensions and surprisingness and relevance to actually include talent from our key markets to express the Marimekko spirit. But I think that, well, in Japan, I think we have also a very interesting relationship between Finland and Japan. There's a lot of connections. And I think, you know, for example, in the designs, we share a lot of the same preferences in the kind of design thinking, the kind of relationship with nature, lifestyle. There's a lot of commonalities.
Have you been able to measure the impact of your association with Uniqlo in terms of sales?
So we constantly measure our brand awareness
of course,
in all of our key markets. So it's something that we do all the time. And I have to say that these global collaborations that we've done this year with Uniqlo and Clinique, they really supported us in increasing the awareness and connecting also with new audiences that might not have heard from us before. So we are very content with these partnerships.
Excellent. Have you been doing that in the US and in other countries?
It was both were global.
It was global.
Global,
Wow,
yes.
okay.
So you can imagine that these are really nice ways for us to build the Marimekko story and support the core strategy, which is about expanding our omni-channel store network.
Very good. Thank you so much.
Thank you.